What's going on, guys? Welcome back, and with the continuation of the hype for Resident Evil 8, there's some questions that I have, and a question that I'm going to ask you guys, and I'm going to give my reasonings behind my answers to this question, but I want to know your thoughts and opinions, so you can leave that down below in the comment section. The question I have is, will Chris Redfield die in Resident Evil 8? And the reason why I bring up this question is because if you look at the trailer for Resident Evil 8, the first thing that is mentioned in the trailer is that this is his last story, or his story is coming to an end. So that's why I'm bringing this up, because if it's that, if it's so prominent that they need to specifically state that it's the final story of his story, whatever the case may be, then that's why I'm asking this question. So, will Chris Redfield die? I firmly believe that he will. And there's a couple reasons why I feel that way. Not just because his story comes to a close, as they say in the trailer, but also because this is the Chris Redfield that we've known all the way up to Resident Evil 6. They changed his character model to resemble him from Resident Evil 6, as opposed to the way that he looked in Resident Evil 7, which myself and a lot of other people are actually happy about the change, because then it's more of a continuation going forward. This Chris Redfield does look a lot older, which it makes sense because Chris, I believe in 1998, was 24, 25 years old, something like that. So it's been a long time. So he's clearly in his mid to late 40s, maybe even early 50s, depending on the time frame that Resident Evil 8 takes place. So I feel like this Chris Redfield, and especially the way that developers have talked about him, stating that he's a very battle-hardened Chris Redfield. He's seen a lot of stuff. You can see it. And the way that they portray him in this story as kind of like, not necessarily an antagonist, but it makes him seem kind of like an antagonist, the way that he's portrayed in the trailer. So with that being said, I feel like he's going to die. Now, how will it happen? I don't know, but my thing is that I feel like the final scene of this game, whether it's a post-credit scene or whatever the case may be, I feel like the final scene of this game will be Chris Redfield's funeral, and I feel like all the protagonists from the prior games will be featured in that scene. I think it would be fantastic, because that would be the first time that we have all the protagonists in one scene. So, you know, Jill, Leon, Claire, Rebecca, maybe Carlos, because of the way that Resident Evil 3 ended, you know, the way that they did it, you know, just all of them, to see all of them return just for that one scene to say goodbye to their friend, I think would be a very, very powerful scene to end this game, because it would lead the way to more things to come. It's kind of like a passing of the torch to the next generation of characters, and the characters that we grew up with in the Resident Evil series. We know that eventually their time will come to an end. So I would be okay with Chris dying, because, like, I'm gonna be honest, Chris is not my favorite of the Resident Evil protagonists. My favorite is Jill, then Leon, then Claire, but Revelations to Claire, I would have to say, is my favorite version of Claire. Just because she's older, she's got like that kind of, again, battle-hardened sense of self-preservation and stuff like that, and I really like that version of Claire. So I want to know what your thoughts are. I want to know your opinions on how Chris might die. I feel like he will die maybe saving Ethan, and then like Ethan will come to understand everything that Chris has done, and the reasons why, like, he basically broke into his house and did everything that he did, to kind of explain the situation, and then Ethan will understand where Chris is coming from, because we don't know the relationship between Chris and Ethan. All we know is what happened at the end of Resident Evil 7. Chris and his team came down to save Ethan and Mia in canon, and And so, we don't know how the relationship between the two have progressed within that time period. We don't know why Ethan is living where he's living, or how he gets into the situation that he's in. We don't know any of that. So this is just clearly speculation, but I feel like I said, Chris Redfield will die, and I honestly, that's something that I've been seeing coming for a while. It should have happened, in my opinion, in Resident Evil 6. Instead of Pierce dying, Chris should have died in Resident Evil 6. I feel like that was the direction that they were planning to take it in Resident Evil 6, but then they changed their mind last minute. And so I feel like his inevitable death would be one of the harder hitting points of this game if they effectively did that. Again, I mean, I'm taking this, just based off of what we've seen in the trailers, based off of what the producers have talked about, and basically form my own opinions and theories on this. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. And thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe if you guys knew, all that stuff. And I will see all of you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.